Bitcoin, crypto, blockchain. You've heard these words 1,000 times. Maybe you got a nephew that won't stop talking about it. Maybe your coworker retired at 34 because of it. And maybe you know somebody who lost money on it. And yeah, we're all kicking ourselves for not buying it in 2010 when it was next to worthless. But if someone asked you to explain what Bitcoin actually is, I mean, not what it's worth, not whether you should buy it, just what is it? Do you think you could? Well, we're going to fix that. And we're going to start with something you already understand. Remember when your mom printed up mom bucks? She'd go into her office and it had that ceiling fan that was clicking all the time. She'd fire up the compact computer, go into Microsoft Paint, and crank out a dozen mom bucks on the old dot matrix printer. Now you could earn these mom bucks for good grades or doing chores. And if you earned enough, she might let you stay up late to watch Steve Martin on Saturday Night Live, or she'd bake you a batch of cookies. Now, your friend Andy's mom does the same thing, except she went into CorelDRAW and printed out kid coins on her fancy new laser printer. With kid coins, Andy could buy brownies. So after you and Andy had earned up enough mom bucks and kid coins, you decide to trade. So you can get brownies and he can get cookies. Okay, kids, congratulations. You've just created a currency exchange. Now, your friend Mary wants in on this deal, except her mom doesn't print mom bucks, but she gets an allowance. So you sell her some of your mom bucks and kid coins for real-world cash. Let's say 25 cents each. Now, Mary can buy cookies and brownies too. Then Tony hears about what's going on. Now, he doesn't have any money, but he offers to mow your lawn in exchange for kid coins or mom bucks. And the word starts to spread. Now other kids in the neighborhood, they want in. They start offering their own services, like washing cars, helping with groceries, maybe a good old-fashioned lemonade stand, in exchange for a chance to get their hands on these freshly printed and increasingly valuable currencies. Now notice what just happened. These mom bucks started off as a fun reward system, but the moment other people decided they had value and were willing to trade real goods and services for them, they became a currency. Not because a government said so, but just because a community agreed. Now, moms aren't stupid. To keep you kids from sneaking into the office that used to be a bedroom and printing out more mom bucks, mom makes you sign and date the back of each mom buck and kid coin every time it's used or traded. Kind of like your math book in 5th grade. Remember, it had a list of every kid who'd ever touched that thing? You could see the entire history of every owner right there on the inside cover. So that means there's no counterfeiting, no stealing. Every mom buck and kid coin is accounted for. That's essentially what blockchain is. I've got another video that goes into a deeper explanation, but for right now, it's a record of every transaction. Who had it, who gave it to who, and when. Except of being written on the back of a piece of paper, it's recorded across thousands of computers all over the world at the same time. That means no single person can go in and change the record. Everyone has the same copy. And now here's the other thing about mom bucks. There's no government involved. The moms and the kids are in charge. They can decide that Andy's kid coins are worth more than your mom bucks. Because let me tell you, these are some outstanding brownies. So maybe 2 mom bucks are worth 1 kid coin. Now nobody held a vote, nobody posted a price on a bulletin board. It just kinda happened. Kid by kid, trade by trade. That's what decentralization actually means. The value isn't set by one person at the top, it's set by everyone at the bottom, every time they make a deal. So this is what they mean when they say Bitcoin is decentralized. There's no central bank, no government printing process, no bars of gold. Just a community agreeing on a value and a transparent record keeping everyone honest. Now, what happens if mom just keeps printing mom bucks? She just runs that dot matrix printer day and night. Well, pretty soon everybody's got a stack of them, and they're not worth much anymore. You can't buy cookies with something everyone has a big pile of. So moms get smart. They cap it. Only 100 mom bucks will ever be printed. And once they're out, they're out. And that is scarcity. The fact that there is a limited supply is also part of what makes them valuable. Now, Bitcoin works the same way. There is only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. That number is baked into the system. No one can change it. No government can print more. And that is by design. So now comes in your friend Max. He is a sharp kid. He knows that cookies and brownies are delicious. He sees the kids in the neighborhood getting involved, and he thinks everyone is going to want in on these mom bucks and kid coins. So he buys a bunch of them at 25 cents each. Then he holds on to them. And as the word spreads and they become more popular, mom bucks and kid coins are now trading for $1. Max decides to cash out, and he buys himself a shiny new Walkman and a bunch of cassette tapes. Max just did what every crypto investor is trying to do. Buy low, hold it for a while, and then sell high. Sometimes it works. Sometimes mom bucks crash back down to a nickel, and Max is stuck with a bunch of paper and empty pockets. And that is going to bring us to the part that actually matters. Now, this is not financial advice. I am not a broker. I am not a financial advisor. And I'm not here to tell you whether Bitcoin is the future of money or a speculative bubble. There are people who are way smarter than me, and they disagree on that every single day. But I am going to tell you 2 rules that apply to Bitcoin, stocks, real estate, or anything else you might want to put your money into. And if you think this is hypothetical, if you think I'm being overly cautious, look up the Hawk Tuah coin. In December of 2024, a social media star lent her name to a cryptocurrency she openly admitted she didn't fully understand. A friend of her friend told her it was going to change the way everybody thinks of crypto. And so she signed on. She promoted it to millions of her followers and launched it. The coin hit a $500 million cap in minutes, and then it lost 99% of its value. The FBI got involved. Investors filed lawsuits accusing the creators of running a pump and dump scheme, and she disappeared from the internet for about 2 months. When she finally resurfaced and asked, "Hey, what happened?" she said, "I wish we knew then what we know now." Investors got hurt. Real people lost real money. Stock footage actors got overly dramatic. That's some good acting right there. This guy's probably a friend of the camera operator. Okay, thanks for your help, Dave. I owe you lunch. Okay, no, but seriously. Real people lost real money. Now, not because they were foolish, but because they put their trust in something nobody in the room fully understood. Now, that is not a punchline. That leads us to Rule 1. Don't put your money into anything you don't understand. If you can't explain it to a friend over coffee, you're not ready to invest in it. And there's no shame in that. Understanding comes first. Always. If you're on vacation and you find yourself in a seminar about timeshares because they offered you discount tickets or a promise that you'd get into the park early, you need to stop, think, and ask yourself, how much did I know about timeshares 24 hours ago? And then Rule 2. You've heard this before, but it bears repeating. Never gamble more than you can afford to lose. Cryptocurrencies can be volatile. The value can go up fast and come down faster. If losing that money would hurt, don't risk it. Look, I agree. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, they can be exciting. The technology behind it is genuinely fascinating. And now you understand the basics. It's a digital currency created and managed by a community instead of a government. It's tracked on a transparent public ledger that no one can cheat, with a limited supply of them built into the system. Now, whether that's worth your investment, that's up to you. But you've got the information now. You understand what it is. But just remember, it's not all cookies and brownies. Well, now thank you so much for joining me. Now, if you really like this episode, I'd appreciate a like, a subscribe, and share it with a friend. It's just me here making these, so every one of those genuinely helps. Now, I'm going to be making new episodes every week, and we got a lot of ground to cover for Season 1. Stuff like AI, blockchain, algorithms, quantum computing, how your phone knows where you are, and how Netflix picks what it thinks you want to watch, so stick around. And hopefully at the end of every one of these, you'll be walking away saying, "Oh, now I get it."